A man of England, a man they call the Badger. Welcome, Dave Prins.
So it's free Willy against the Prins of Darts and having a right royal whale of a time in the commentary box. Vassos Alexander and David Croft.
Where else would you want to be on a Sunday afternoon than down by the lakeside? And for Davy Prins, it's a welcome return to a man who said that he'd never come back again. He didn't feel that he had the form, he didn't feel that he had the time to get the ranking points. But boy, oh boy, is he chuffed to bits to be back in this World Championships against Willy van der Wiel. What can we expect from the number 10 seed today? He blows hot and cold like a bathroom tap, but are the rivers going to flow for free Willy? So many questions to be answered in the next possibly 5 sets. Vassos Alexander,
the man who practices every day, Dave Prins from the northeast. They call him the Badger. And it's a very welcome return, as you say. He didn't think he'd be able to devote the time to darts that he needed to, but he has done. He came through qualifying, and here he is. Willy van der Wiel has been here 3 times before.
Willy to throw first. Game on.
He has reached the second round twice, and he once hit a 161 checkout to defeat Ted Hankey.
So it's Willy van der Wiel, the number 10 seed, that gets us underway. And if he can keep hitting the ton 40s, keep playing the game at a pace he's comfortable with, we should see him justify that seeding.
127.
It's what happens when the game doesn't quite go his way, but is the key to this, I think. He does have a tendency to let his head drop a bit if he feels he's not up to scratch.
81.
Right there.
Prins on his 2 previous visits to Lakeside has lost in the first round on each occasion.
100.
2 years ago he lost 3-0 to Martin Phillips. Last year a 3-1 defeat at the darts of John Boy Walton.
60.
But he was seeded on both of those occasions. Here he comes unseeded.
Qualified, as you said, to the international playoffs in Hull. I said, can you remember what your toughest match was? He said, no, can't remember much about it at all. It was all a bit of a blur. But a real tough competition to try and win your way through. A lot of players involved, a lot of good players involved, and a lot that don't quite make it.
Willy, you require 160.
So he opened up with a 140, Willy van der Wiel. Wanted 2 treble 20s for the 160.
45.
There you see, look,
Dave, you require 150.
Quite consistent in the treble 20. Even a single 20. Prins can't finish either.
58. Willy, you require 115.
25 leaves 90. Treble 18 would have left double 18. A good cover shot on the 91. Treble 16. Leaves our referee Hugh Ware catching up himself and trying to work it all out, and he did well. Single 17 would leave a finish for Dave Prins, and it's that finish of ball for the Badger.
67.
Unlucky.
Willy, you require 24.
For the first leg. For Holland, 2 12s. Yes.
Games on the first leg, Willy van der Wiel. Second leg, Dave to throw first. Game on.
So van der Wiel holds his throw then.
58.
One thing is for certain, that the Badger will not play to Van der Wiel's pace in this. He'll be steady all the way through it. The Dutchman's got to cope with that.
100.
We've heard lots of players saying they practiced on Christmas Day. Willy van der Wiel updated his website on Christmas Day to assure his fans very Merry
60.
Christmas.
Did you log on yourself on Christmas Day?
It's what I wait all year for.
97.
He's a carpenter from Ryan in the Netherlands, is the man they call Free Willy. 29 years of age.
121.
David Prins, unemployed, comes from Peterlee in County Durham, but he said now that
44.
he is between jobs, it actually gives him more time to devote to darts, and his intention for 2012 is to play a lot more of the tournaments. He's been around a long time, Dave Prins. He's vastly experienced, but never had the funds behind him to ply his trade
85.
full time. And that's Dave Prince's partner, Claire.
62.
Don't need a commentator when Van der Wiel's playing. He gives his own critique as he goes along with the shakes of the head or a few nods.
It's like a
125.
Dutch cat on a hot tin roof. Can't keep him still.
He's not going to shake his head on that. Well, he might now,
125.
yeah.
Dave, you acquire 52.
So to hold his throw, Dave Prins 12 for tops. That's nice and handy. Plenty of bed to aim for.
12.
Oh dear.
Willy requires
Just the wrong
73.
side of the wire, and already Claire is feeling the heat. Double 18 for Van der Wiel. Nicely worked
Willy
out.
van der Wiel.
Very clever way to
Third
go.
leg, Willy to throw first. Game on.
That's single 18 for double 18. It's nice when you've got 2 darts from 54 rather than 14 tops. You can use that first dart as a good
100.
marker.
Van der Wiel, one of 8 Dutchmen in the draw this year.
81.
Which is a record for Dutch participation. Only had 3 Dutch players in the last 2 years, each of the last 2 years.
140.
To have 8 is superb, and at least we are guaranteed 1 Dutch player through to round 2. With Christian Kist and Jan Dekker meeting
41.
later on this Sunday.
So it's the orange of Holland against the red and white of Sunderland.
And he is a big Sunderland fan as well.
60.
He's waxing lyrical about Martin O'Neill in the backstage area, as you can imagine.
$121. $140.
Good time for that 140 from Willy van der Wiel there, and I think he's rather sniffed out any chance Dave Prins had of nicking
82.
this one.
Willy requires 61.
This for the set, without reply. Single 14 leaves double 16. Oh,
29.
a whisker away.
But he will be back. How much can he take out of the 176?
Not
58.
enough is the answer
Willy
there,
requires
Vassos.
32.
This should be fairly regulation, but it is for the set, and it is regulation for Van der Wiel. Very accomplished performance in that first set from the young Dutchman.
Second set, first leg, Dave to throw first. Game
Forget.
on.
Free Willy, that was 3 for Willy, and it was 3 and easy for Willy. Prins will be disappointed with
59.
his own darts in that set. He had 3 darts at a double, missed them all, averaging just 76 and a half.
Those the missed doubles that dragged the average down. Van der Wiel, well, not scoring hugely well, but took the 3 legs, only had 5 darts at a double in that set. So 60%, that'll win you most
40.
games.
But Prins will feel it was
47.
a set of darts against the darts as far as he's concerned. So if he can just hold his throw, hold on to this set, steady himself, and then start again from 1-all.
36.
Yeah, that didn't go according to plan, did it?
No, it's a big if.
Yeah.
At the moment,
Didn't win a set on his first visit. Took one set against John Walton
100.
last year, Davy Prins, so he should be good for at least 2 sets today if he carries on any improvement.
you would think that the Badger was good at nicking sets. It looks like he's peeking round a corner at the Oki.
And then just moves back to the right-hand side as he throws.
100.
Well, watch the action here. I'd say it's a unique style. It's not. I've seen plenty of players over the years throw like that. And throwing with new darts as well. They're his own Badger darts.
96.
26 grams. A couple of grams lighter, actually, than his dad's old set that he used to play with, Davy Prins.
Yeah, for a long time he turned up with 40-year-old darts given to him by his old man.
130.
Now here would be a nice time to start winning legs.
Well, he's made it hard for himself with that first dart. He's rather blocked the treble 20 bet, as we
94.
then saw. That is a
Willy
missed opportunity
49.
to not at least give yourself a shot on the ball.
2 16s, 2 8s. He is quick, isn't he? But on that occasion,
36.
not accurate. 2 18s. To win a leg for the first
Games
time,
on the
yes!
first leg. Dave Prins.
Dave Prins is on the score
Going
sheet.
first.
That'll help him.
140.
Van der Wiel hits his 5th 140. Yes, we saw a brief glimpse there of Patty Van der Wiel.
99.
Yeah, the treble was that big. Yeah, it was wide open for him, she says.
95.
And the Badger boys.
$100.
And a whole set of Badger boys. And their nose in the trough at the back.
60.
Treble 20 would leave the 170 check out. That's what he was looking for.
$100.
Jerry Tenberger watching on there. He and Willy, very good mates. Travel the circuit together, and we'll see Tenberger, of course, in action
100.
in this first round.
Will you require 106?
This afternoon, though, it's a watching brief.
Speaking of good friends, Dave Prins and Paul
58.
Jennings warmed up on Monday together for this at the Engineers Open in Hartlepool. Treble 18 and double 18 would have won him this leg.
74. Will you
Good
require
competition, that
48?
Engineers Arms Open. Glenn Durant won it. Fine player he is. Double 16 for Van der Wiel.
32.
No. Chance for Prins then to
36.
break Van der Wiel's throw for the first time in this match. Double 9. A little bit trickier this. You don't want to miss on the inside. You could tell from the way through that second dart.
27.
Bit fearful.
Will you require 16?
To level the
Game
set.
shot on the second leg. Willy Van der Wiel.
He got the double and he still shakes his
The
head.
leg Dave to throw first. Game on.
Some people are never satisfied, Vassos.
Wonder what he'll do if he wins the world title.
He might nod then. But only if he finishes on a 9-darter.
45.
Not a good start from Dave Prins there. You want to impose yourself in a leg as early as you can.
100.
Not saying Van der Wiel really stepped in and took full advantage there, but Prins has put himself on the back foot with 4 sloppy-ish darts.
100.
Made up for it a bit with a ton, but you have to find a ton 40, I think, at least, unless Van der Wiel slips.
85.
So he looks still behind here, even after those first 2. Still
26.
behind after that visit. Van der Wiel has now got the darts back. In this leg, she knows it. Van der Wiel will know it as well, and he's thriving on it.
First of the match.
100.
And it leaves him on a finish.
150.
Yeah, but what pressure he's on here. 150 to hold his throw with Van der Wiel waiting on 76. And look, the pressure tells. Can't complete the checkout.
60.
Really doesn't put enough
Willy
pressure on the
requires
Dutchman
76.
here. Should be fairly regulation. 2 darts at double 8. Going to need both of them.
68.
Oh dear, not good.
Davey requiring 90.
Treble 20 for double 5. Bullseye for the leg.
60. Will you require 8?
3 darts and a double. Only needed
Games
one
on the
this
third
time.
leg. Willy van der Wiel.
Maybe a little fortunate to get a second chance, Van der Wiel.
4th leg, Willy to throw first. Game on.
But he's going to take that second chance and take the break of throw. Looking good for this second set now.
96.
Van der Wiel's won 3 ranking titles. Most recently the Hungarian Open of 2010. He's also won in Sweden and Norway.
60.
And last year was the runner-up in the British Open.
So this match then features the past 2 Hungarian Open champions, because
41.
Davy Prins won in Hungary in 2011, won the Fife Open as well. I remember seeing him on the TV screens at the UK Open, where he lost to James Wade in the last 96.
96.
And I mentioned 96 and he hits 96, so I'll mention 180 now, see if he can comply. No.
$60. $140.
Big 140 and a big swagger from Van der Wiel.
You're kind of dead right, yeah, a 140 is a 140, but the timing of that 140, it makes a major impression 96. As we get to the business end of a leg.
84.
Van der Wiel's bought himself now 6 darts from 84, he might only need 2 of them. Well, he needs more than 3, but he's got more than 3.
Now, how much pressure can Prins apply?
$38. Will you require 24?
Very little is the answer. For a 2-set lead. 2 12s.
12.
No, he's missed 5 darts for the set
Davey
now.
require 151.
Just tensing up a bit, but Prins applying as much pressure so far as a feather duster, quite frankly. Can he take out this 151? No. Not quite going for him.
100.
And now it's serious stuff. For the second set, double 6. Get
Games
in.
on the second set. Willy van der Wiel.
Took his time, but in the end he does make that double, and that advantage he built with a scoring count.
Third set,
Van der
first
Wiel,
leg,
2
Willy
sets
to
up.
throw first. Game on.
And throwing first in the third set.
100. 60.
Van der Wiel gives himself a little bit of
100.
self-criticism during his throwdown. Our referee Hugh Ware with his trademark 100.
The trademark already?
Oh yes.
He's only 18.
One day on the telly. He's made it all his own now.
But that talking
97.
to he gave himself, Van der Wiel, it did work midway through his throw last time. He talked himself into a treble 20. See if he can do it again.
81.
Kind of. Thing is, at the moment, in this leg and in a lot of the previous legs,
100.
he doesn't have to score 180, 140 to build up the advantage. Dave Prins is not scoring highly enough. And Van der Wiel,
140.
for the second leg in a row, putting in the 140 at the right time. There are those Badger darts. He's actually got the Badger engraved
60.
on the top
Will
of the
you
barrel.
require 80?
For another leg, 2 10s.
70.
But he will be back once again. He can afford to miss darts at doubles. 5 of them for the second set. 2 for the advantage of this set. He could go treble 16, or will he fill it up? Treble 16.
136. Will you require 10?
But Van der Wiel once again with darts to open an advantage in this third set. He's missed 4.
Games from the first
hit
leg.
with a 5th.
Willy van der Wiel. Second leg, Dave to throw first.
Hit double
Game
6
on.
with his 6th attempt at a double in the last leg. Hit double 5 with his 5th in this one.
Van der Wiel, so far in this match, hasn't hit 180. But it doesn't really matter,
85.
because he's hit plenty of ton 40s. He's hit a fair amount of tons as well. And there's nothing really big coming back from Dave Prins. Prins is hitting his
29.
hundreds, but he has only hit 140. He's only hit 180. He's got to up his scoring here to force his way back into the match. He's missing doubles, but he's also not buying himself enough
100.
opportunity to afford those misses. And time is running out for Dave Prins as
83.
well.
It can feel that time's running out on you when you play Van der Wiel. He is just so quick. Everything just feels like it's going by in a flash.
60.
You've barely retrieved the darts from the board, and it's your turn to throw again.
Well, it's a characteristic of the Dutch style, really.
140.
We've seen some very rapid players over the years. Vincent van der Voort, Jelle Klaassen, Michael van Gerwen. Yeah, they're all fairly high-tempo players.
85.
Even Barney, probably more so in his younger days, is no slouch, but getting on a bit these days, Barney. And suffering a bit with his darts at the moment as well.
40.
Shame to see.
$97.
That's better.
Do you know what he could do with the leg? He's only won 1 all match.
137. Dave requires 74.
But he's under pressure.
Yeah, Van der Wiel with a 137, making Dave Prins think about this. Got to take this, you feel, and he has.
Games
Well
from
done.
the second leg, Dave Prins.
But once he had 2
Third leg,
opportunities at
Willy
the double, he didn't
first.
take it. Levels up in this third set.
60. $85. 100. 40.
Willy van der Wiel has played Dave Prins on a couple of occasions in the past. He's actually lost both of them 2 years ago at the Zuiderdown Masters and a year further back at the Swiss Open. So he could be on his way to a first ever victory against Prins, but whatever he does today, Vassos, he has his own place, Willy van der Wiel, in the Lakeside history. And he played
62.
Alan Suter in the first round last year. It was the 1000th match at the BDO World Championship.
60.
Will be remembered for that rather than the darts, which kind of went very comfortably in Willy van der Wiel's favour.
Once again here, Prins not applying
40.
the pressure. So the Dutchman has 6 darts at least from 181 to move to within a leg of round 2.
140.
Another big 140, another well-timed 140.
Even more so with Davy Prins way back on 274. Van der Wiel, the leg that he started,
140.
keeping that advantage. But
Will you require
well done to
41?
Prins. Good reply from him. Is it enough? Might be, you know. He's hit a big 14 there to leave 27. Should be 11.88.
33.
On these little
Dave,
things
you
to match
require
his swing.
134.
How about this then? 134. It would have been a big momentum shifter.
54. Will you require 8?
Didn't miss it last time, did he? Double 4. Didn't miss it this time either.
Leg, Willy van der Wiel. 4th leg, Dave to throw first. Game on.
It's looking good for Free Willy and his 3 million watchers, both here and back in Holland.
$60. $46.
And there, just an example once again of how Willy van der Wiel has dominated this match. 9 more ton 40s against Davy Prins, who might have hit a maximum but hasn't hit enough
81.
either side of that.
And as we've mentioned, the 140s from van der Wiel have come towards the latter half of a leg.
21.
And you could have done without that. Dave Prins.
No, it's clipped the flight. It was probably heading to the 5 anyway, but you don't want
95.
to see any points disappear on the floor. Prins has to throw in something large here. I don't mean a 40-gram dart, a 140 or a ton 80. That 45 is not enough. Willy van der Wiel, remember, wins this leg, wins the match, and can really forge ahead here. So much room.
100.
Couldn't fill the bed again.
She thinks it's enough. There's Patty.
Do you think Willy shook his head and then Patty just nodded to say, no, it's okay, it was fine?
100. $125.
That'll do, nicely. 18 double 18 if he fancies it, because he will be coming back. This could be the last 3 darts for the Badger. He's not done himself justice, Davy Prins, so far in this match.
Will he require 54?
Well, the Badger watchers at Lakeside may go home disappointed. 13 leaves, double 16. 2 16s for the match for Willy van der Wiel. Look at me, he says. I've only lost 2 legs all afternoon, and I'm back in the last 16.